It's natural for anyone wanting to lose weight to want to lose it quickly. Well, evidence show that people who lose weight gradually and steadily actually have a better chance at keeping that weight off. Healthy weight loss is much more than just a diet or program, but it's an ongoing lifestyle that involves changes to your diet and your workout habits. We're going to talk more about it this morning with Dr. Ross Williams. Dr. Williams, thank you for being back on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me, Jenna.
Okay, you are certified in functional medicine, Dr. Ross. You also offer nutritional services to clients here in Key West. So how often do you have people coming to you saying, I want to lose weight and I want to lose it quick?
It's probably one of the most common reasons that people come in looking for help, because they've tried many times to lose weight, and usually they just gain it right back, sometimes more than what they started with. And so I often like to point out to them that what is healthy weight loss, we always say we want to lose weight, but who wants to lose bone or muscle? Nobody. What we want to lose is fat.
Okay.
So we like to call it what it is, fat. We're trying to lose fat. And that brings up the point, what causes us to gain fat? And most people are afraid of fat in their diet. We were told about 30 years ago by the government to get the fats out of our diet.
Right.
And Americans responded by doing that, and if you look at the charts, our fat consumption has gone steadily downward, and yet obesity rates, type 2 diabetes, all these other problems are going up, up, up.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it does if you understand what causes the fat.
Okay.
And it's not fat. It's not the fat that makes your butt fat.
Okay, I like that.
It's sugar and grains. It's the refined carbohydrates, the pastas, the bread, the cereals, crackers, cookies, ice cream. All of that turns into triglycerides in the blood, which is fat in the blood. It also causes your blood to raise insulin levels, and insulin is a very powerful hormone that controls sugar, and it tells your body to store sugar. So whenever if you're having a bagel and orange juice and a piece of toast with jelly on it for breakfast, you're signaling your body to store fat, store fat, store fat. So it's almost impossible to lose weight as long as you're always bringing your insulin up. And insulin is the problem. That's what causes hypoglycemia, insulin resistance, and then on to type 2 diabetes. All of these are related, one after another.
So what do you recommend then? Like, what are some of the top diet changes that people need to make if they want this weight loss that's going to last into the future?
Well, you were correct in the introduction that it is about lifestyle change, about how you're eating. And for most people, it's reducing the amount of carbohydrates, eliminating as many refined carbohydrates as possible, and increasing healthy fats and protein in their diet.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't even have protein in their diet for breakfast. It's very common, unless they have an egg, which is a good thing.
Now, let's talk about how the sugar and the carbs affect your metabolism as a whole. Talk more about that.
Oh, boy, we could talk for hours about that. But, you know, in general, sugar affects your adrenal glands, which are the glands on your kidneys that are your stress response glands, which were designed evolutionarily. We were under stress for short periods of time when we were running away from the saber-toothed tiger. But then we had long periods of rest and recovery. And in today's modern world, people are constantly under stress. Sugar stresses the adrenal glands. It stresses the immune system. It increases insulin levels, which has a whole host of other problems, and it makes us fat.
So sugar just needs to be totally avoided, doesn't it?
As much as possible. You know, humans have been on the planet a couple 100,000 years, and we've only had sugar really in the last couple 100 years in large quantities.
What do you think of all the fake sugars like Splenda and Equal and all of that?
They should be equally avoided.
Really?
A lot of some dietitian type health people will say, oh yeah, that's a better choice, but it really isn't. If you talk to the experts, there's a Dr. Lustig you can see on YouTube who talks about sugar. He's the expert in sugar. He says avoid it like the plague because it stimulates the same hormone responses, and it affects your brain in the same way, even though it doesn't have the same number of calories. So calories, you can't just count calories. That's not going to do it for you.
Now, what are some of your favorite foods, Dr. Ross, that you eat that are good, maybe good substitutes for us sugar lovers out there?
Yeah. Well, I got sugar out of my diet about probably 4 or 5 years ago, pretty much as much as I can. And I'll start each day with a whey protein shake, and we put in fruits and vegetables, try to put as many vegetables as possible, try to get healthy fats in there using nuts and seeds, and just grind them all up and drink it. It's delicious. That's a great way to start a day. I eat eggs, I eat organic chicken, I eat salmon, lots of vegetables.
Those are good choices. Those don't sound too bad.
No, it's all good.
Not at all.
It's
All
delicious.
right. Before we go today, could you give our viewers kind of a health tip of the day? Maybe they can take it with them and apply it to their life.
Yeah. Well, a good health tip is eat breakfast and make sure you get a little protein and healthy fats in there. Healthy fats would be like some avocado or some nuts. Raw are better, not the roasted nuts. And fats and proteins are very important.
Okay. And breakfast.
Breakfast. Eat breakfast. That's the health tip.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing all of this with our viewers this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a quick break right now, but I'll be right back after these messages, so please stay with me.